What is up, Duelist? Left4 Duelist back at it again with another card of the week. Part 2 of this one, of our double feature. So, yesterday we talked about Tyrus. Today we talked about Adreus. We talk about how these effects that in 2011 were disgusting, oppressive, and powerful are now second nature and just built into other cards. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Adreus, Keeper of Armageddon, is a Dark Fiend Xyz monster, rank 5 with 2600 attack and 1700 defense. Needs 2 level 5 monsters, and once per turn you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card to target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. So, like I said in the last video, it's like the times that Tyrus was good, Adreus wasn't. The times that Adreus was good, Tyrus wasn't. They went back and forth like that, except for the early days. The early days. Like, I believe, where was it? August 2014 was Tyrus's peak. August 2014 was Adreus's low, with 1 reported death. Look, Tyrus was the one-stop shop, summon, detach, pop. Pretty cool stuff. Nowadays, that kind of effect is built into a card with 1 or 2 or 3 other effects. Look at Thunder Dragon Titan, for example. You activate your effect in hand and he pops a card on the field. But he can also protect himself, and he can also be summoned with his own summoning mechanic, So a single pop isn't all he has going for him. He's also a big, beefy boy. You know what I mean? Popping your opponent's cards also now is not always the way you want to go. Sometimes they want that card to be popped so they can use it later and get pluses. Big plus. This is the big reason cards like Dragonic Diagram were insane, and they still are insane, for popping your own cards and getting your own effects. If you blind pop onto a baby Cerosaurus, you know what I mean, with Tyrus, since Adreus can't do it when it's set, you'd have a bad time. Granted, you're never gonna play against Dino unless you're at a local with 5 people. But I digress. I believe when they first came out, Tyrus and Adreus each were around $40. $40 to $50. It's 8 years ago now? Jesus Christ, so it's a bit harder to remember. But nowadays, they're both running around the 4, the 5, the 10, the 4 to 10 range, depending on what quality one you want for secret rares. And then the rares and starfoils go down to around the 3 to 5 range. They're not too expensive. But these were powerful cards that just had their utility ripped from them by other cards. The ability to destroy a card on the field now is just second nature to a good, boss monster. Honestly, Titan is the perfect example to compare them both to. Titan pops cards and he can protect himself. So he's the best of both worlds. Tyrus had the ability to protect himself from destruction, with the added benefit of being able to pop something, granted very slowly. Adreus didn't have that protection, but he was able to pop something immediately. So you bring in Tyrus' protection with Adreus' ability to pop anything, and you get a big green monster motherfucker, for lack of a better term. You got your cards. Here's another good example. Necroz's a Gungnir. While it is just Gungnir as a Necroz monster, even Gungnir outclasses both of them in its ability to protect and destroy cards. It's very, very, very powerful and very underrated summon, by the way. Don't forget to summon your Gungnirs every once in a while, boys. They'll never forget it, and they'll draw them every game. But I don't know where I'm going with this. The diminishing value of the Xyz monster. You put these resources in, and you were supposed to get this epic fucking monster. But now you get main deck monsters that do the same things. You know, just summon, pop. You know, got 'em. Pankratops. Pankratops is a huge fucking example. Back in the 2011 days, you had to go into an extra deck monster to pop a fucking card. Pankratops, you just summon that bitch and pop. Quick effect, too, by the way. Armageddon and Adreus were not quick effects in the slightest. Pankratops is. Pankratops can tribute pop on your opponent's turn just whenever it fucking feels like it. And the huge speed up of the game has affected, I feel like, pretty much every card 2012 backwards. So anything that was 2012 and printed before that was hugely affected by the huge like increase in speed. Because once Dragon Rulers hit, everything was just up from there, except for two examples, except for Bujin and Monarchs. Everything else was whoop. Like even the decks I love, like I love all those older, slower decks. Blackwings is not a slow deck. Neither is Sylvan's. They're both fast as fuck. But, you know, compared to fucking decks now that vomit out half their deck for a one-turn board, compared to Danger Thunder, those decks are slow. Sylvans can't play on your opponent's turn too well. But they do play on your turn very, very well, you know. So, the future for Adreus, you know, he has his highs, he has his lows. His most recent usage was reported in March 2018, according to YuGiOh.topdecks.com. So, the ability for just a detached pop is always going to exist. But Adreus is also just solely outclassed by another rank 5 in Volcasaurus. Once Volcasaurus came out, Adreus had no more reason to really see play. Although, I guess there is benefit to each one if you really wanted to look at it like that. I believe Volcasaurus is weaker. Let me see. Volcasaurus, I'm not typing, of course not. Why would I be typing? No, you don't type when you push buttons on a keyboard. Volcasaurus is 100 weaker, and it burns, and it can't attack. Adreus can just pop and attack still. So they're both very, very good cards, but depending on how you want to do it, if you want to pop something and still go for a game, honestly, I feel like Adreus would be a better bet. Volcasaurus' burn does help. It's very, very fucking good. But the amount of cards that protect themselves from being popped, the same thing can be said for Adreus' usage. The amount of cards that just protect themselves inherently and are just like, nah, you don't kill me. It's just too much for these cards to keep up nowadays. And, you know, I hope at some point the format slows down and we can get some of these older cards back in there and test them out and be like, damn, I really miss Bannerfish as a deck. You know, that kind of feeling. I hope that day comes soon. I don't think it will, but you never know. With the introduction of new formats that they're starting, like speed duels, I could definitely see if once they start including these kinds of support into the speed duels, I could see Tyrus and Adreus both being, you know, star fucking players once they get their releases. But I mean, even in Duel Links, we're barely on synchros. We're only gonna get Exceeds maybe later this year or next year. I don't remember. It's usually one a year, I believe. But anyways, that just means you're getting Tiramisu sooner or later in Duel Links. I'm gonna be the fucking GOAT with that deck. All right, you don't understand. Anyways, guys, it's gonna be it for this week. Like I said yesterday, I'm gonna be out next week, so I cannot get a video up. If I end up being able to, it'll come out on like a Thursday. So just be ready for that. We're gonna try and get out as much as we can. Hopefully get an announcement video out by Thursday, because Friday I'm gonna be gone. So stay tuned for that. Check us out on TCGPlayer, Sora Online. We'll be back online eventually, I promise. I swear I am not lying to anybody. Like, subscribe, Slide for Duels forever. We will be seeing you. Peace.